Ask the Crazy Ozone Lady, episode number 5. What is the best systemic ozone treatment for men to treat at home, to use at home? Hi guys, here's Paula, the Crazy Ozone Lady, and I'm reviving an old series that I started in the past. So I will be talking about various questions that people ask me, that they post in the comment section on my website or via Facebook, and I will discussing them publicly. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. So go to thepowerofozone.com/news. My book is coming out. It will come out. Don't lose the faith. So be subscribed to my newsletter to get notified when it will be published. All right, so I received the following comments on my website. So I wrote some time ago, I wrote an article with the title, Are rectal insufflations 95% as effective as intravenous ozone? And there I explained that there is really no research to assume that this is the case, because this is something that is often claimed by various ozone doctors. They say that rectal insufflations are as good as intravenous ozone, and so I looked into it, and there's really no reason to believe this. And then so someone posted the following. He said, in the town where I live in Tennessee, there are no doctors who would even think about using ozone in any way whatsoever. So it's self-administered ozone or nothing. I believe that to be the case in much of the US. So while rectal insufflations might not be the most effective way to administer ozone, it is that or nothing in much of the US. So although this comment didn't really contain any question, but the implicit question was basically, so if you are a man, what is the best systemic way to treat yourself with ozone at home? And so this man here said, since I don't have access to an ozone doctor, it's either this or nothing. And I disagree. So there are plenty of other options that you can use as a man to get a potent systemic treatment from ozone treatments. But now, before we start, I also want to make sure that I want to make clear that this is not medical advice, the usual legal disclaimer. So please don't take this as medical advice. So I'm talking just in a general way. If you're sick, go and see your doctor. All right. So in my opinion, if you're a man, what are some of the better, or what are the best systemic ozone treatments that you can do at home and which are non-invasive, so which do not require any needles and any puncturing and any super hygienic standards? So number one, the most potent systemic treatment in my opinion are ozone saunas. I believe that ozone saunas are completely undervalued, and they are one of the most powerful treatments you can perform, because you are treating basically the entire skin. You're treating your entire body while you sit in the ozone sauna, and the skin is our biggest organ. So while you sit for a solid half an hour inside an ozone sauna, and the whole time ozone is being pumped in, and the whole time for a solid half an hour you are being treated and you're exposed and you're absorbing ozone, this is an immensely potent treatment. And I believe that it can be even more potent than some intravenous treatments, and for sure, without any doubt, more powerful than rectal insufflations. Now, is there research to back this up? No, there isn't. But for the majority of ozone treatments, there is no solid research. Even for some of the intravenous treatments, there's also no research on 10-pass ozone treatments, and yet 10-pass ozone treatments are one of the most popular ozone treatments. So it is wrong, in my opinion, to discount a certain ozone treatment just because there is no research on it. But we have plenty of anecdotes, and as I have compiled some of them on my website. So when you go to thepowerofozone.com and you click on the menu where it says testimonials, and then go to ozone testimonials. Well, actually, let's see. I'm gonna do this right now. Here you see Ozone testimonials. Hold on a second, let me make this smaller if I can. No, I cannot make this smaller. Okay, so you see ozone testimonials, and you have here stories of people. Now, granted, those are all anecdotes, okay, but at least they show what is possible. So here, a woman, she treated vulvar cancer with ozone saunas. Then here we have Hans, who successfully treated bladder cancer with HOCAT, which are a type of ozone sauna. Then we have someone who said that she saw tremendous success with ozone saunas with treating multiple sclerosis. Now, this is unfortunately a video that has since been set on private on YouTube. And this is the problem with YouTube, that many videos disappear or they're set on private because people are afraid that they may get in trouble with the authorities. So many videos disappear. But this is something that I posted I had reposted this video on my Facebook page. And this was a woman with multiple sclerosis, and she was absolutely ecstatic about the success that she saw with HOCAT saunas. And so multiple sclerosis, this is a condition of the brain. So certain parts of your brain are inflamed, and they cause those, in some cases, really serious symptoms, neurological symptoms, which when they progress, they even can lead to people not being able to walk. All right, so this is a brain condition, and she saw an improvement in her brain, this brain disease from saunas. So this is, I mean, how else can you explain this than that ozone saunas must have a potent systemic effect? Then we have Judy Seeger, who says that one of the main ways how she recovered from Lyme disease was by doing ozone saunas at home. Now, she caught her infection relatively quickly, and she saw really great results. Then we have Shannon here, who also reported that she saw improvement from something that she says was clearly neurological. Then Tasnima, she posted a report about her dad and what her dad experienced. So her dad was diagnosed with severe heart disease. He had suffered a heart attack, and he was recommended emergency triple bypass surgery. But instead, he said, no, I am going to do something else. And he started doing ozone saunas. And a few years later, it was determined that he was cleared. He was, okay, here it says, many treatments later, my dad's 3 blocked main arteries were flushed, and he has been working and doing manual labor since. So it's not quite clear what she means with flushed, whether the sclerosis, whether it has completely reversed or whether it just improved. But he was doing great, and he didn't have another heart attack, and he didn't need the surgery. So there are many such stories which show that ozone saunas can have a very potent systemic effect. And just much more potent than people assume. Now, the problem with ozone saunas is that some people do poorly with the heat, so they get sick when they sit for too long in the heat. So this is nothing to do with the ozone part of the treatment, but with the high temperature. So in that case, what one can do is one can use a full body ozone bag. And this is something, so I recently wrote here a detailed how to do the full body ozone treatment at home. Okay, so this is how it looks like. You just basically lie down and you put your body inside a bag, and you use the heat of your own body, because we exude heat, and we also constantly sweat, and so that bag basically traps the body heat and the sweat, And you also go in after a shower, so after you have opened the pores of your skin, and then from the other side you insufflate ozone into the bag. So this is another way to absorb ozone gas transdermally. So this is another thing that men can do easily at home. All you need is a bag, and of course in addition to the ozone equipment that you already have. Another way, which is probably even better than the ozone saunas and probably even better than a full body ozone bag, are hydrogen peroxide baths. So hydrogen peroxide baths, this is also something that is not talked about. Many people talk about ingesting hydrogen peroxide in a diluted way, but peroxide baths, this is, I think, something that has been completely forgotten, unfortunately. But why is it even better than ozone saunas or the full body ozone bag? Because you don't need any equipment, you don't need any electricity, nothing. You don't need an oxygen tank, no ozone generator. There's no risk of accidentally electrocuting yourself by dropping the electric parts into the bathtub. Nothing, right? So all you need is you just need to buy the hydrogen peroxide, and you can buy this freely. For now, this can change any moment. So it's probably a good idea to stock up on hydrogen peroxide. Now, what you want to do, you want to buy this 35% strong hydrogen peroxide. In my opinion, it does not have to be food grade when you're using it for soaking baths. So buy 35% strong hydrogen peroxide, and you use 1 to 2 cups, with each cup at least 8 ounces. And you pour this into a full bathtub. So full in the sense that when you go into the water, that your body is submerged. And the water has to be hot. You pour the 1 to 2 cups of hydrogen peroxide. You stay in there for 20 or 30 minutes. And what you will notice is that on your skin, there will be like tiny, tiny gas bubbles everywhere building on your skin. And this is, I believe, this is because when the hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2, when it reacts with your skin, and when the byproducts go inside or are produced in the skin, and then probably then go into the general circulation. So when H2O2 reacts with whatever it reacts, so basically it creates this O1O molecule. It's O minus, I believe. And so this is so it produces gas while it reacts with your skin. And this is what you see building up on your skin, those oxygen molecules. And this is a super simple treatment and very powerful. So from the effect, it's probably comparable to the ozone saunas. And again, you don't need any special equipment for this. But what I would do with hydrogen peroxide baths, I would only use the peroxide. So some people, want to enhance the effect, and they put Epsom salts and something else. I think baking soda. Some people add baking soda. Now, I would not do this because hydrogen peroxide is very reactive, so it could react with whatever else you put in the water. So I would just do the peroxide. Don't try to fix something that doesn't need fixing. Don't try to improve a good thing. So this is already, we have 3 very potent, non-invasive, easy ozone/peroxide treatments that any man can do at home. Another option is drinking ozonated water. So this is also something that, in my opinion, is overlooked as a systemic treatment. But as good as everyone who drinks ozonated water, they report a rush of energy after they drink it. And in my opinion, this is because many people probably have some form of inflammation in their gut, maybe some low-level small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. We know that, I believe it's 50 or 60% of the world population has Helicobacter pylori infection in their stomach. Many people have leaky gut. Often it's undiagnosed. So all those things together cause some, often it can be just low-level problems in the gut. And when you drink ozonated water, and then if there is some infection, if there is some inflammation, then the ozone water will take care of it. Or I'm not saying completely, but improve it at least. And many people, as I said, they report a rush of energy after drinking ozonated water. Some report that their mind clears up, they are sharper, they are able to concentrate better, and when they suffer brain fog, that they say that the brain fog goes away. And this may be also partially because there's a connection, there's a nerve connection between the gut and the brain, and that's the vagus nerve. And so it's possible that this explains why so many people have this positive effect after drinking ozonated water. So this is also something that every man can do, drinking ozonated water. Instead of drinking ozonated water, or in combination, one can also take oxy powder or Ozone. So this is magnesium peroxide. And so this is what they call ozone in powder form. And the reason why this is called ozone in powder form, because the way magnesium peroxide is made is by ozonating magnesium oxide. And this is how you then produce magnesium peroxide. And so when you ingest magnesium peroxide, one oxygen molecule splits off and then is either absorbed intestinally and then does whatever good thing ozone and oxygen radicals typically do. So yeah, so oxy powder or Ozone, I personally prefer oxy powder because they come in capsules, so you don't have that powdery sensation in your mouth. And so yeah, any of those things, drinking ozonated water, taking oxy powder or Ozone, can have a positive impact, which you can feel throughout your body, not just in your intestines. Another thing that can be done are ear insufflations. Now, ear insufflations in themselves, they're not a systemic treatment, but in combination with other things. So if you combine ear insufflations with drinking ozonated water, or ear insufflations together with breathing ozonated olive oil and drinking ozonated water, then you will start getting a systemic effect. Which brings us also to another point, the breathing ozonated olive oil. So some people also report that by doing this, breathing ozonated olive oil, they also get a rush of energy and that it improves their overall well-being. So again, this is based on anecdotal evidence. There's zero research, there are zero studies on breathing ozonated olive oil as far as I know. But again, this is something that can also be tried out. So those are, and all those things that I mentioned, as I said, they can be combined. So yeah, so you can definitely, as a man, you definitely can do other things than rectal insufflations if you want a strong systemic treatment. Or you can keep doing the rectal insufflations, but if you want to enhance it, then you would add the other ozone treatments. So yeah, so this is what the crazy ozone lady thinks about what men can do as a strong systemic ozone treatment at home. That's it. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this. And maybe in a month's time or so, I will do another episode of Ask the Crazy Ozone Lady. So, and once again, none of this was medical advice. Guys, stay safe, stay sane, turn off the corporate media, and subscribe to my newsletter. See ya. Bye-bye.